Good evening, everybody. Tonight we lack a Scotsman. He, uh, he can't come tonight, but we are here to develop part 3 of Turnabout Samurai after a month off. Okay, so last time we ended at the end of the first investigation. So now let's move on to the first trial situation. October 18th, 10 a.m., District Court, Court number 4.
Nothing. I didn't notice your screen sharing. You're gonna put your screen.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers.
Okay, well, maybe less voice.
I don't think Evers can do a Scottish accent, so we decided to do an...
You don't have to do an accent. Just don't do an accent. It's just a little offensive.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Ha! Well, that makes one of us. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please.
I think Holly is legit bothered by that, Evers.
No, it's fine. I'm just like, come on, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm in character.
Why am I... Sorry. It's an accent.
It's Japandia-fornia. It's fine.
The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to commit this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact.
Objection, Your Honor. I didn't like his tone of voice.
I see. Very well. I'd like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness.
Very well. I call the most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court.
Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio. See? This here is the employee area. The actors there run through their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studio. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate. See? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1.
I love that we are a textbook case of why these recaps happen. If you were playing the game normally, this would be happening like 15 minutes after this was all explained to us, but this has been several months now.
This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant, who I'm not going to name.
Her name is not important.
Her name is the assistant, middle name production.
All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then, after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio One to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again?
Should I listen to that whole thing again? I'm fine. That's okay.
Anyway, I'm just gonna head over here in the corner. So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval.
Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see?
Understood.
Objection, Your Honor. The answer is nothing at all.
Even she admitted
Let's
that.
call this security officer to the stand.
Sorry about my accent, guys.
Will the witness declare her name?
No.
Why aren't you a handsome fellow?
Oh, God.
I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
She's a fucking simp.
Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be asked. Just call me Grandma. Your
That's weird.
name, please.
Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witness to say their names.
We're
Witnesses to say their names.
We're just going to state what the running gag is out loud, okay?
Wendy Oldbag, dearie.
Do you think she gets self-conscious with a name like that?
Oh, God
Oh.
damn it.
Okay, I don't have the transcript up.
Damn it.
I don't think any of this matters, so it's okay.
But it's part of her gimmick. We have to voice all of it.
Okay, just babble meaninglessly. Just babble incoherently for a minute. That works.
Objection. I object to the witness's talkativeness.
What is this, the Amber Heard trial?
Oh, God. that
Too
is
deep of a cut.
That is a landmine I do not want to comment on.
Too deep of a cut? I understand.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to see if I can, find part 2. I can find part 1 and part 3, but I think we should get part 2.
Hey, listen, if she goes off, just start talking about a past that doesn't exist.
What? That doesn't exist?
Just start going off about her past, because that's all she's doing is she's rambling about, how she got her name and shit. Just make something up. It'll be as funny.
Okay, I found the transcript, but let's just use this in the future. We're moving on now.
Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony?
Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you.
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony.
I want the judge so badly to say, please refrain from flirting with the judge or some shit. Like, she sure is one hell of an old bag. Not a very nice thing to say, but...
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interestingly, the third man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was headed towards the studio.
You saw the
You know,
independent.
that was not one of the auto scrolls.
It works though.
No, it worked great for her characters.
He was speaking faster than I can click through the text at some point. You are best, old bag, Penty.
That's a very good old bag.
It is. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Knight.
Yes, Your Honor. Roger, Roger.
Has Maya said anything yet?
Maya's here? Question mark?
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m.
This is happening in Phoenix's head. So up until that time, anyone who wanted to could go into the studio?
Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You need an employee keycard to get in.
Right, the card key that I have. So what she's saying is no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in.
Was there anyone else at the studios when you arrived at the guard station? Poor old Hammer and the...
Hold it! A run-through?
They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon.
Once again, you have been
So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero.
If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there after noon?
Hold it! What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know.
I'm saving your voice, Penty. You need...
Answer the question.
Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers, observing, you know.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station?
Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs, always. Never missed one in all my years.
Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too.
No offense, Maya, you already did. Gonna let that joke
No,
simmer
that's
for a
the
moment.
Evil Samurai run-through. Evil Magistrate run-through.
Oh, right. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty.
Not a bad idea. I could
Please don't.
someone super buff.
Wouldn't it be hard to be this asshole's replacement? Did you see the victim then?
Did I see poor old Hammer? No. He'd already got into the studio before I got back to the guard station. Tell us what happened next.
Hold it! Before you even say anything. You were watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second?
Of course! I am a professional, you know. Why are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper?
No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday.
I didn't watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. Snipper whapper.
Have you considered you're a bit of a stereotype? Why don't you raise an objection?
So the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see?
Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right?
Hold it. How did you know that?
Oh, I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I've been in some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job.
Poor Detective Gunshoe getting ratted out by the security guard.
Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m.
Hold it. 2, you're sure.
Sure as spit.
You.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know, but it's weird. Well, who's this?
Who is the
Really,
man?
you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was.
Can you hold this lady in contempt?
I wish.
It's the Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards us.
What?
I think it's it.
Is it work? Okay. Do you need me to bring up the walkthrough with him?
Objection. Let me get this straight, old bag.
Not a silence.
Ms. Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly?
Your mother, sir. None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo, which is an amazing name. Ms. Old Bag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course, didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
That's hearsay, I think.
No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder.
True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. Although any motherfucker can buy a cosplay. I'm gonna leave my line as is, I think it's better.
Heck, even I could hypothetically be the murderer. I am not, though.
It could be you in that costume for all oh.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing me of that, Mr. Witness.
In fact, nothing has ever been more plainly evident. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Will Powers. Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Noisy old man. Of course I have proof.
So
What?
Huh?
Even Edgeworth is surprised?
The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you.
Boy.
It's implicitly obvious.
Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old windbag is left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good.
Let's hear about your proof, then.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at the picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
My God! It's like...
What do you mean apparently? You were there.
So he had sprained his ankle? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals.
Oh boy.
That's a weird way to say it.
It is. Fuck.
Hold it.
Whippersnapper! How do you like it being interrupted?
I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs.
That's a madly specific.
Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. You today always wearing... Oh God.
We have the script now,
Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. You today always whining about each other, pointing fingers this way and that. It's nothing my old lady want to cry. Mr. Wright! Please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness.
No can do, Buckaroodle. I think Edgeworth has met this match.
This reminds me of a case in the second game that I despise.
Turnabout, big top.
Hold it!
Yep.
Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai. Then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate, and... me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing! Just observing.
I'm sure that's all you were doing, you old pervert. What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backgrounds around and such.
Seriously, what is her name?
The production, comma, the. Or no, assistant, comma, the, middle name production. So she didn't see the run-through then. Hold it. Trip and fall?
Yes, and to think, he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So, Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
I was gonna say.
Let's skip over that part, shall we? I don't even know what accent I'm using anymore.
Who was the assistant then?
I already told you she was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. You may continue your testimony.
Hold it. He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear? The murder weapon?
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot. Okay.
I think we've heard enough.
Maybe you have.
Haven't we, Your Honor?
Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
The witness. No, where is the steel samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right.
That's not proof. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the steel samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. You have to consider that possibility also.
Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No,
No need to ask twice.
God.
This day in court is really all old bag all the time.
Great.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
Well, okay, but you said that the production assistant was already there.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this steel samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Alright, I think this one is one I just need to object to something on. I'm trying to look for my evidence to remember which one it is. Did you get the walkthrough?
Oh, right. I'll get it. Let me see.
Ah, oh right, this one. I think I'll figure it out.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna plead just in case, and if I fail, then you don't.
You got it.
Wait, damn, I'm on button. So let's wait this out.
What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. No one else went there.
Objection. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time.
Look at this photograph.
This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
That metaphor seems tortured.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo?
Pardon. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
Yeah? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand any newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, will help? Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what that means either. Some help you are. You are a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Mr. Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please. I'm trying to convey how annoyed he is talking.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking. You see, come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first time I've heard of this.
And wasn't the body found relatively quickly? Shouldn't have been very obvious that both photos were relevant.
Can we just get this motherfucker, thrown in contempt for perjury, please?
Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Sorry, just... I'm guessing that I'm up. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
Shut the fuck up. No, you didn't.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one important job to do. I go through I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious.
How exactly are you doing that with your mouth? How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces for the most part.
For the most part.
We're security guard.
She's a phrenologist.
Highly illegal. This is a murder trial, Mr. Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers photo, did I?
Is your name fucking Majid? I think she's missing the point. You don't get to decide what's suspicious, bitch. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
A fanboy.
And that wasn't suspicious to you? Huh? Fanboy?
Sorry, I am doing something.
It's okay.
How dare you?
2 worlds.
I will never forgive you for this. Please don't die live on stream, that'd be really bad.
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me.
I have no idea where this came from for the record. It's like somehow the office of my house contains something that is killing me.
Oh, okay. Is that all?
They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where.
Well,
They're
just
always
gotta find
hanging
Josh.
about. No one was there that day.
Objection. Wait a second, didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, you must know there's a drain that goes into the employee area.
Yeah, I must know. It's a murder trial.
The grate has been used for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks.
The only freak is here is you. And?
I mean, none of those children are in here, so yes. They're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Okay, you think of everyone as a child, so that means nothing to me. Kids? So on the photo that you erased...
Fine, you want me to be specific? It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
Yeah, I do. I want you to hide nothing at risk of perjury.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai, dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes, well we see this type every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it will be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield a samurai spear.
You don't know that.
This is not admissible evidence, by the way.
Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
How do you know, Judge? Did you pick up the samurai spear as a part of this?
It's a souvenir.
Right! As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the
We're
boy
about to
was
prosecute
there.
Oldbag.
That makes him a suspect.
Yeah, they're already trying to unsuspect him.
This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. No forgetting vital information this time.
Okay, done. Okay, I have considered the new information. I have decided that Old Bag doesn't get to just come up with a story about it being an unsuspicious child after destroying evidence, which is a crime. Mr. Powers,
Yeah.
tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
Sounds like you're sleeping now.
So, who was the real samurai?
How would I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone want to steal a Steel Samurai costume.
What about the bad boy she just mentioned?
Wait, where does this leave me?
Doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Yes. What are we going to do?
First, we play for more time. Start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right. And it would take them so long to shoot us down that we get another day.
Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey, Nick. It's time.
Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't say it like that.
Alright. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers.
This office is murdering me.
Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
Well, we'll handle that murder later. Anyway, the prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else who could have committed the crime.
You just said you have no hard evidence.
I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
All of them? Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
I know who this is, but
I would-
saved just in case.
I would never do something like that, Your Honor, which is why I'm gonna say that it was Jesus Christ himself. Alright, great, as if the stakes weren't high enough.
So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder?
Production assistant. There's a security lady, Wendy Oldbag.
Who?
Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There's only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury.
Is Miss Faye okay?
The security lady, Oldbag. Miss Faye will be fine. She has COVID.
What? You're a snapper?
Well, COVID
That's
didn't
right.
even exist yet, and I got tested for that.
That's right, Oldbag. I've made this a super spreader event.
Hold on, hold on. Is this true, old bag?
Old Bag! That's Miss Old Bag to you!
Ms. Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would you go through the trouble of wearing the steel samurai costume?
That's a stupid question, Your Honor. Do you want to rephrase? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right there.
Holly, say something.
Herlock Sholmes too.
Thank you.
I gotcha. Oh yeah, right here. Herlock Sholmes too, baby. Wah. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Illegally, by the way?
Well, Mr. Edward, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
Frankly, I don't like Oldbag either.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it?
Yeah.
Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Great. It's very funny. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Ms. Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too.
Indeed.
That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. Windbag. No hard feelings, I hope.
Oh, there,
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased.
The child.
He's only a grade. He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
So what you're saying is you're strong enough to pin an adult male.
When I was 10.
Just for the record, you want... Yeah, so you're saying when you were a small child and you were able to pin an adult male and then you grew more after that. You want that on the record.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright?
Much to think about.
Can you guys
That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Or is it to be nice to the kid and mean to your elders, Day, whippersnapper?
Yes. Fuck you, Boomer. I have proof.
You are getting too out of context.
I'm farming them. Frick you, Boomer. I have proof.
Proof?
Pee-pee roof.
Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have to that shows the boy could have not have committed this murder?
Is it just the spear
Murder.
being heavy as fuck?
The spears.
I lifted this.
The fact that he couldn't have known about the ankle injury.
The fact that he needed a card key to get into the studio in the first place?
Well, he clearly got through anyway.
Right.
Yeah, but that's getting into the studio complex. The card keys to get into the specific studio that the murder happened in.
Alright, I'm gonna risk losing a point because, like, they sprung this on me with no warning. Take that! Okay, I'm gonna
Take that. Scene of the murder, as we all know, is Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key?
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
The windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was her name?
Something old bag, Your Honor.
Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Well, wait a second!
Oh, God, come on!
Hold on, guys.
Oh, and one more thing. Jokers in Smash. Isn't that crazy, guys? Jokers in Smash. They have one more thing.
He raided the Game Awards to steal an invite from
You
someone.
never see it coming.
You see in my
We
mind.
immediately dated this live stream,
Jasper
but we
eyes.
dated it incorrectly.
Well, we've dated it as being after that. All we've done is prove that it was after Joker's announcement, which is true. And you know what? It's also after Terry's. Isn't that crazy?
Ah, man, it's even after,
We'll just start
What's
dialing in dates.
what's his name? The guy with the tennis racket.
Oh, Peach.
Well,
It's crazy
I
that
was
Peach
gonna
is in the game.
I was gonna say Waluigi, but no, that's not accurate.
Waluigi does have a tennis racket.
Yeah, but he's not. He's an assist trophy, which pissed off people to no end for some reason.
Yeah, but don't you remember when Waluigi was announced for Smash right after Terry? And everyone knows that.
Hey guys, look at this.
Us pretending, like, us fake dating the live stream. Making it sound like it's way older than it is.
That's his name. I'm not gonna just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me?
I'm not barking up anything, man.
I'm talking.
What a shocker.
Okay.
Okay, stop the scratching. The windbag wants to
Maya, your minds are fire today.
talk.
Miss Oldback, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony again?
Judge, you can stop this. You can just hold her in contempt.
Actually, you must know there's something I was told not to talk about.
Oh, that's very illegal. Tell me more. Not to talk about.
By whom?
Huh? I mean, it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
No, but well, testify.
No. Smile.
Lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to pretend they just hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're gonna go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
So you're saying there's like multiple people they could have been.
Miss Oldbag. This is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until?
Ain't you been listening?
Oh, God,
Actually, no. I tuned you out like an hour ago.
They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
Oh, always, huh?
Mm.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag.
Mr. Light, your cross-examination.
I would also like to take this moment to point out that it has been pretty much an hour. Hold it. So you were told not to talk.
That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Are you aware that that's very illegal?
Why didn't I hear about this? Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. Giant conspiracy.
Are you aware that that is perjury?
That is conspiracy.
No.
That is now conspiracy to commit perjury.
Who were these people? Give us names.
Well, the director and producer, for starters.
Cool, both under arrest. Excellent, thank you. The director. You know, I was gonna make a joke earlier in the flashback with like the four of them eating lunch, and she's like, everyone was there, and I'm like, you're telling me one production assistant and a security guard is all they need to make the show happen?
We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Or a cameraman, or a
Well, yes,
lighting.
I was surprised no one asked about it.
A run-through is by definition not film, Wally.
I know, but like, it was right before they were gonna start filming. You think camera operators aren't always on site working on those fucking cameras? So where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. Let me just add him to the picture. No, we're not adding him to the picture. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that. Where?
TGI Fridays.
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Oh, that's a stupid question. No, Phoenix, hold on.
Well, if you look
It's
at the
called
map-
Studio 1. If there's a Studio 1, of fucking course there's a Studio 2, you dumb motherfucker.
Jesus Christ. Phoenix, how did you ever pass the
progress the text so you can get. Here we go.
I
No.
think his brain has been broken by the sheer amount of
Here it is.
that is blatantly going on.
You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey's head was falling over here.
Well, Mr. Light, would you like to continue the cross-examination?
Not really. I mean, but I guess. But not really.
Didn't press the last question.
Ms. Oldbag, this is a trial for fucking murder.
I know that's silly.
Do you?
Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
Are you a fucking Oldbag? Are you a detective? No? Stop giving your professional opinion on things. So you got your bonus and you still talked. Genius. Honestly, actual icon.
I think there's one more we haven't pressed yet.
I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. Your Honor, Amogus. We have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people that you've been just told of.
I understand, Your Honor.
Edgeworth's reaction images are gold.
They are. This ends today the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Please do not say anything, Miss Oldbag.
Anything.
October 18th, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Aw, really? It's nothing. Audible smile.
How'd you do that with your mouth?
Or should I?
We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in the Can it really have been the windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
No, I think it was her.
She has recurring character vibes.
Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers.
I kind of feel sorry for her for some reason.
I don't. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right. We'll be back with you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Don't get all sappy on me now.
And hopefully we'll have the
finally.
real Judge and Will Powers back next time. Good night, everybody. And I really hope
Hopefully.
I am
Good night.
swiftly
Good
cured
night.
of whatever's causing this office disease.